The left one was really
both done. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
You got one twice before it.
Yeah,
twice before you got one for it.
Oh shit! Keeps eye poking, man. Once again, it's MMA. If somebody's coming at me and I go like this, it's my hands coming out. It's a natural reaction. It's a natural reaction. That's one thing people don't understand. Like when you do Muay Thai, when you kick, you need your hands out. Even in the gloves, when I throw a kick, my hands are open inside the gloves.
Stop arguing. He got eye poked and then Gane pushed his fingers into both of his eyes at once. Let's just call it what it is.
Following right is that it works. So the best thing you can do is like keep your head in the game, and I'll do everything I can to manage.
All that training for that. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
It's gonna be okay, mate.
What the f is he doing?
The left one was really deep.
Both done.
The left one was really
both done. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
You got one twice before it.
Yeah,
twice before you got one for it. Yeah.
Mike Bisping, he lost his eye. It's just a horrendous thing to think as a parent, really. And I know what it's like these days with people saying what they want, but if it's just your son and they could lose an eye and their health and they've got children to look after, you know, something needs doing about it. Yeah, it's horrendous for me to look at.
The night was supposed to be legendary. UFC 321 was set to crown dominance in the heavyweight division, with Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane finally clashing in a fight years in the making. Fans expected fireworks, not heartbreak, but in one devastating moment, the entire arena went silent. A single exchange turned violent, and within seconds, Aspinall was down, clutching his eyes in agony. The referee waved it off, and what was meant to be the biggest fight of his career ended in chaos. Ruled a no contest after one of the most shocking double eye pokes the sport has ever seen. But was it really an accident, or is there something deeper behind what happened inside that octagon? When the replay aired, disbelief rippled through the MMA world. It wasn't one eye, it wasn't a graze. It was both two fingers straight into Aspinall's eyes, deep enough to make him drop instantly. He got poked in both eyes at once, one analyst said. Let's just call it what it is. The slow motion footage didn't lie. Ciryl Gane's fingertips connected clean, the kind of impact that makes fighters scream in pain. The shock, the confusion, the frustration, it all erupted at once. Fans who had waited years for this matchup couldn't believe what they were seeing. The biggest heavyweight fight of the year ended not with a knockout or submission, but with an accident that felt almost unforgivable. For Tom Aspinall, it was the kind of moment that haunts a fighter forever. 1 second he was defending his title, the next he couldn't even open his eyes. His father's emotional breakdown after the fight was enough to move even the toughest fans. It's horrible to see your son like that, he said, his voice cracking. He's got a family, kids to care for. This can't happen again. His words weren't just about Tom, they were about every fighter who stepped into the octagon trusting the system to protect them. But how can anyone feel safe when a single mistake can take your vision away? Ciryl Gane, still stunned in the octagon, claimed innocence. It wasn't on purpose, he said repeatedly. I didn't even feel it. He compared it to when Derek Lewis poked him years earlier, saying he fought an entire round seeing double. I know how that feels, he added. I'd never do that intentionally. His apology seemed sincere, but fans weren't convinced. The moment was too intense, too deep to just be brushed off as bad luck. Some saw it as a careless error, others as an unavoidable tragedy of the sport.
I think we started very well. I think he started very well, but I think I started very well because everybody knows his strategy every time he started very hard and surprise his opponent. I think we did very well. We defending a takedown, I touched him. We saw some blood on his nose. It was a really great first round, and that's why, yeah, maybe also I was a little bit disappointed, a little bit sad about this issue, but this is a sport. I was at first angry because I don't want him. I don't want from him to stop the fight. After I was disappointed, sad, and after that, apologetic exactly for the people.
Ciryl, how did you feel about the eye poke? How do you feel when your hands and your fingers touching his face? Did you feel something specific? Ciryl responded, no, I didn't feel anything specific. I didn't do it on purpose. And I know what it is to have an eye poke because when I fought Derek Lewis, I got an eye poke and I was seeing two Derek Lewis for a full round. So I know how it is. And
one round during that is what the debut of the run, and the rest of the run And so the two territories. So I'm not gonna say yeah he's a liar.
Eye pokes in mixed martial arts unless you put us in gloves that are like in actual like boxing gloves. And I think one of the reasons why everybody's so upset and they're kind of controversial is that Ciryl Gane was fighting good. He was doing a great fight. I was impressed how Ciryl Gane was able to maneuver and give Tom a hard time to track him down. Now, Tom did try for a takedown and Ciryl Gane was able to defend it. But that was the thing that was like, damn, like, what would have happened if, you know, the fight would have gone on even more? Because Tom Aspinall was seeing a little adversity, wasn't get blown out, but he was being bloodied up, which you never seen him done that. We'd never seen him bloodied up before. And we had somebody who was athletic, who looked fresh, who was game in order to, you know, beat Tom Aspinall.
Then came Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson with a statement that reignited the fire. This will never stop, he warned. Not until the UFC fixes the gloves. He explained how the open finger design of current gloves makes it almost impossible to prevent accidental pokes, especially for strikers like Gane, who use extended hands to measure distance. Johnson even pointed out that Gane was performing beautifully before the foul. Precise, controlled, landing sharp jabs that had Aspinall bleeding. He was finally testing Tom, Johnson said. We were about to see what Aspinall could do under real pressure. But the moment was ripped away, and the sport lost one of its most promising battles. Behind the scenes, things might be even worse than they appear. Reports suggest Tom suffered a potential retina injury, a condition that could take months to heal, or worse, impact his vision permanently. If that's true, the road back won't be easy. The UFC wants the rematch, the fans are demanding it, and Dana White has already called it a total pain in the ass. But the truth is, no one knows when or if Tom will be cleared. We have to run it back, Dana said, his frustration clear. It's the only fight that makes sense. But not everyone agreed with the sympathetic tone. MMA guru, known for his brutally honest takes, went off online. Stop pretending it was nothing, he said. Both eyes, both fingers. That's not an accident. He even joked bitterly. John Jones's eye pokes look clean compared to that. Guru insisted that Tom was actually winning before the foul, landing the sharper strikes, controlling the distance, and forcing Gane backward. The clip went viral and the fan base split in two. Those who defended Gane as unlucky and those who accused him of recklessness. Meanwhile, Michael Bisping gave a heartfelt reaction from ringside. It was shaping up to be one of the best heavyweight title fights we've seen in years, he said. Tom looked sharp, Gane looked composed. Both were putting on a show, and then it was over. Bisping's empathy for Tom was clear. He described watching the moment happen and immediately realizing the damage was serious. Tom was devastated, he said. This was his night. He worked for this. And now we're talking about no contest instead of a win. Dana White later confirmed that Tom had been rushed straight to the hospital. His voice carried a mix of anger and exhaustion. Great fight, terrible ending, he said. That's the reality. We'll see what the doctors say, but yeah, we'll book it again. But what he didn't say was just as powerful, because the heavyweight division now hangs in limbo. Then came the most controversial reaction of all. Chael Sonnen, never one to hold back. He claimed Tom should have kept fighting. If you're the heavyweight champion of the world, Chael said, you fight with one eye if you have to. Harsh? Definitely. But classic Sonnen. He accused Tom of mentally checking out, saying his body language after the foul showed defeat. Fans instantly fired back, reminding him that a double eye poke is not something you just fight through. It's dangerous, possibly permanent. Anthony Smith offered a more balanced view, calling the outcome gutting. This was supposed to show us who Tom really is, Smith said. Could he adapt? Could he overcome? We'll never know because the fight ended before it even began. His comments summed up what every fan felt. Disappointment not at either fighter, but at how unfairly the night ended. And then came Sean O'Malley with the detail everyone missed. Both eyes were definitely poked, not one. He said slow motion footage showed one finger going deep and another grazing Tom's mouth. O'Malley blasted the UFC's gear switch, saying they'd moved back to older gloves that failed to prevent these accidents. The new ones sucked, but the old ones are worse, he said. Look what just happened. His words reignited the debate about whether the organization is prioritizing fighter safety or just convenience. The biggest tragedy, though, might be what this fight could have led to. Insiders say a win for Aspinall would have opened the door to the biggest showdown in UFC history. A potential title defense against Jon Jones, possibly at the rumored White House card. Imagine that, the British champ in Washington, D.C., under the eyes of the world. But that dream dissolved the moment Gane's fingertips made contact. In 1 second, Aspinall went from a career-defining victory to medical uncertainty. Now the heavyweight division stands frozen. Jon Jones is injured, Alex Pereira refuses to move up, and both Aspinall and Gane are caught in limbo. There's no clear path, no next big fight, just unanswered questions. Everyone agrees that a rematch must happen, but when and where remains unknown. This wasn't just an unlucky ending, it was a wake-up call for the UFC, for the fighters, for the fans. The gloves are flawed, the rules are unclear, and the stakes have never been higher, because next time, someone might not walk away seeing straight. As for Tom Aspinall, his message after the chaos was simple but powerful. I want the rematch. No anger, no excuses, just determination. Those words echoed louder than the crowd that night, because for every fighter who's ever lost everything to an accident, that rematch represents more than revenge. It's redemption, and when it finally happens, the world will be watching.